All right, before we get going with this four-fingered G, four-fingered C, and the D chord play along, I just want to point out a few things here. First off, when we're playing this four-fingered G chord, we're only lifting these two fingers to get to the C. So we're keeping these two fingers down on the first string, 3 frets up with our pinky, and on the second string, 3 frets up with our ring finger, and we're pressing down on that, and that's not changing. What's changing is the these two fingers right here, okay? And all we're doing is we're going from G to C. A lot of you are going to have an easier time with this, and that's why I'm including this. I don't want to leave you out. If you're having problems with playing this G chord or playing this, you know, I mean, you could play this as well throughout the whole thing. Remember, this note is not in play here during the whole song, or you could just do the one-finger G chord. But a lot of you are going to want to go with this four-finger G chord. And this is what this play-along is for getting you acclimated with that. So with the G to the C, you're just moving these two fingers and keeping these down. Now, when you go from the C to the D, you got to take that pinky off of this note here, because that's not in the song. Okay, it's everything that we're doing is on the right hand is always the same thing for no matter what chords we're playing, whether we're playing this G chord, the one-finger G chord, or the regular G chord. It's all the same finger picking patterns with each one of them, okay? Obviously, if we're pressing on notes here with this four-finger G chord, when we go to hit this second string, obviously it's going to sound like this, as opposed to this. So it's a personal preference, and it's also whatever's easiest for you, okay? So the first move is G to C, and you're just lifting these two fingers, and then you've got to make this move right here. Now this finger right here is going to stay. When you go from C to D, you can just leave this finger down 3 frets up on the second string. Okay, watch this again. Here's the C, and you're just moving, you're taking this finger off, and it's kind of natural, and you're just moving these two fingers from here to here. So if you haven't done so already with just this chord change here, you could practice back and forth just going like this. And then from here, you've got the G chord, and you put your finger, from the D chord, you've got the G chord again with the pinky down, okay? Now, even though we're not playing that note, that's going to come in handy when we want to go and do a little strumming along with the finger picking. Because if you leave that open, it's not the right chord. We want the regular G, the four-finger G chord with the strumming. So that's why we're including these full chords, in case you want to strum that as well. Okay, so let's get to the lesson. We're going to start off slow, and you should know the drill already. Here we go. All right, one thing that I forgot to mention is when we're changing back from the C to the G chord, we're lifting our fingers off of this chord to go back to the G, and we're playing that open note instead of fretting it. So it's like this, just like we did with this, between this and this, and took our hands off. We're doing the same thing. We're taking our hands off, only we're leaving this down. So we're just taking 2 fingers off instead of all 4 fingers, okay? Because this is just going to stay here. We're kind of keeping that as an anchor. So it would be from the C to the G, it would be. So we're lifting our fingers, just these 2 fingers, not the whole chord. On the regular C chord, we were lifting our whole fingers off to get back into that G chord. Like that in the last video. And in this video, we're going. And of course, this note is going to change the notes that we're playing. And that is in the tab there, as stated. And the same thing with the D chord. When we go to play the D chord, we're just lifting this finger off, and then we're going to this, and then we're putting this finger down. So this move is a little tricky. So real slow, I'll show you that again. One more time. I hope that makes sense. So let's do the let's go with the ladder. Now we're not gonna we're gonna do 40 beats per minute. I'm going to mute the computer, the Tux guitar finger picking part, and we'll just hear me doing that. I'll play it through one time. Hopefully you're playing along with me. Then the second half of it, the second time around, you go ahead and play it by yourself. Here we go. 2 and 3 and... All right, 50 beats per minute. Here we go. 2 and 3 and... 60, here we come. 3. Moving up to 70. Here we go. 2, 3, and... Last but not least, here's 75. 1, 2, and 3, and... All right, I will see you in the next video.